What a catch! McIntyre, touchdown! Wins it! The championship!
We want to welcome you back inside the Stuart C. Siegel Center here, campus of Virginia Commonwealth University, Richmond, Virginia, where we are getting set for the first of the second two sets of games here tonight. The 25-1 Brunswick Bulldogs getting set to take on the 21-8 Eastside Spartans right here. It's the Virginia Class 1 Girls State Championship. Bring you down courtside. Hello, everyone, alongside Matt Hatfield, Justin Waddell, and getting you set for this one. And Matt, we talked about it as we were leading up to this one. What do we expect to see from this one?
We've got two programs trying to win their first ever state championship. Brunswick, which has been known to dominate in boys basketball, going back to the days of Bryant Stith, who played in the NBA, University of Virginia, now coaching college ball. They have a big-time player in the post in Alexandria Harrison. Twice she has scored 40-plus points in the state tournament before. She's averaging almost 30 points per game in this year's playoffs. Then you have Eastside, who lost last year's championship on a heartbreaker to Rappahannock County. Taylor Clay, she makes them go. Three-sport standout. That's rare these days. Volleyball. She's going to UVA Wise for softball, and she gets it done on the hardwood. Should be a fun one.
It absolutely should be a fun one. When you look at the way these two teams match up, and you said Eastside looking to take that final step to get that state championship in Brunswick, both of these teams looking for their first state title. I mean, how exciting is that going to be for these communities?
Oh, they're all loving it. They come all the way from Coburn, Virginia, which is a long drive to Richmond. Lawrenceville, they love it. Tri-Rivers District Basketball, they play some good competition throughout the year with the Franklins and the Greensvilles of the world. They've been waiting for this moment ever since the season started up in late November.
Absolutely. While they get to the starters, let's take a look at them here from courtside. And Terry Stith, the coach of the Brunswick Bulldogs, he'll go with London Davis, number 5, Amani Hill, number 10, Ajanai Smith, number 12, Zijah Bland is number 14, and Janijah Easter, number 24 for the Bulldogs. And for the homestanding Eastside Spartans head coach Terry Ann Funk, they go number 5, Drew Dameron, number 15, Taylor Clay, number 22, Kaylee Rasnick, number 32, Alexis Carter, and number 34, Brooklyn Johnson. You talk a little bit, we talk about what are some of the keys we can look at in this ball game for these two programs. You've already talked about a couple of the key players we're going to hear about in this ball game.
Yeah, for Brunswick, they got to establish Harrison inside. She really makes them go. She's had 20-plus points in every postseason game, region player of the year. But also, in addition to her, LaCara Hill, a really key force because she had 16 points, 3 threes in the state semis against Buffalo Gap after not scoring at all in the first minute. They had to control Clay because she puts up almost 14 points, 6.5 assists, 7 rebounds per game. Instead of foul trouble, you go into your bench, it could be dicey, and they were 0 for 6 from the foul line late in that state semifinal. For Eastside, get on the run, play transition basketball, play loose and free, crash the glass. They have to get on the backboards and dominate there. They were out-rebounded by 16 in last year's state final, and protect the basketball. Don't give Brunswick easy opportunities off of miscues through the form of turnovers.
Yeah, the Spartans come in with 6 straight wins here in the postseason as they've gotten their way here to VCU in this contest. For Coach Terry Funk, you look at these Spartans, you talk about Clay and how they want to look at getting her going. Talk a little bit about some of the, I guess, what they had midseason to transfer out.
Yeah, Azzy Hammonds, who had 37 in last year's state championship game, she departed midseason to J.I. Burton, so they were thinking, what's going to happen here? But she really likes this togetherness, the selfless group mentality they have. And in Brunswick's case, they have this one blemish all year. They avenged that loss that they had to Buffalo Gap, who they beat in the state semifinal. So both teams expect to be here. They expect to win this game. They've worked so hard for this moment. This could be a matter where you expect those two stars to kind of, cancel each other out in Harrison and Clay. The supporting cast pieces rising to the occasion in the third and fourth quarter to decide the victor.
Yeah, and you talk about it. This is Class 1, so we're the lowest level, quote unquote. But you look at this place, and it's a really good turnout for both of these schools. You talk about the drive up from Coburn. It's the second school we're seeing today from Wise County. Of course, Eastside came from a consolidation of Coburn High School and St. Paul High School down there in Wise County. So already with Central Wise, the Lady Warriors got the win to kick us off today. So Eastside looking to take some more hardware back to Wise County.
And Coach Terry Stiff's got a little help I see in the huddle. Shereko Walker, who coached the Brunswick boys this year, helping them out. And that's the great thing. We saw John Marshall boys and girls compete earlier today in state championships. The girls falling to Central Wise. The boys winning comfortably over Virginia High. But, you get this togetherness. The communities come out and they support the athletic programs both on the ladies' side and the men's side when it comes to high school basketball. And this one promises to be entertaining because I think they both want to play in transition. They don't want to play a slower pace, methodical type of game if they can, although keep an eye on Harrison inside, 52. She is a handful. And listen to this, Justin. In the state quarterfinals last year, 40 points, 17 rebounds against Clark County. They lost the game. This year, she had 42 in the state quarters against an undefeated Essex team. She can take over a ball game.
Absolutely, as we get set for tip-off here. It's the Bulldogs and Spartans from VCU. Brunswick controls the tip. Akira Hill has it out front. They'll kick it into the corner. Hill with the basketball at top of the key. She looks to Smith inside. Everybody's on the ground. Ball comes out. Seward has it. Back to Hill.
Looks like a little 1-3-1 type of zone defense here to start from Eastside. A little wrinkle they're throwing at them.
Brianna Simmons out on the wing. They're trying to go inside. Here's a nice little 14-footer from Smith. But rebound by the Spartans. Swing it across, looking for the skip pass. That's Rasnick. And we're going to have a travel here against the Spartans. That was Drew Dameron on the travel. It'll go over to the Bulldogs. As you said, just one loss on the season, came in averaging 54 and giving up 32.
And this is an Eastside team that when they really get connected defensively, they can bottle up a team for 4 or 5 minute stretches.
Seward with the basketball, three-pointer by Smith, no good. Off the mark, rebound Dameron. Kicks it over to Rasnick. Looking to run, but that's going to be stolen away by Lakira Hill.
Going back to that zone defense here, really trying to keep the middle congested for Harrison not to make those easy catches. They got one fronting her and one behind her.
Three-pointer again off the mark. On the rebound is Brianna Simmons.
And see, they're going to invite those three. What Brunswick has to do is swing it from side to side. Be patient when they uncork those three-point shots as they make a quick substitution here, just a minute and a half gone by. But we talked about it. Hill having that big outburst against Buffalo Gap the last round was scoreless in the first meeting. They need someone to complement Harrison inside so that she doesn't feel like she has to do all the scoring in this ballgame.
Taylor Clay brings the basketball up. Looking to set the offense. She'll get it in the corner. Swinging around to the Spartans, throwing it out of play. Collision over on the far sideline. Everybody looks to be okay. Dameron was going after it and knocked over one of the assistant coaches for Brunswick.
And Coach Stitham, when his suit and tie messed up, he wanted to make sure he's looking sharp over there, and he is. A lot of blue in the building here, and then you got some green on the other side supporting Eastside.
Three-point attempt by Isabella Cortez Toledo, no good. Coming back are the Spartans, throwing it ahead, tapped away. Clay with a hand on it. A little bit of early game jitters, I think, for both of these teams right now, Matt.
Well, and you know, Brunswick giving up just 31.3 points per game coming in, Justin. I feel like this is their type of game to have a defensive, grinded out style of ball game. But they have to solve this zone that Eastside's got, which is shifting more now to the loading to one side of the court.
Short on the three-point attempt there. Ball is flipped forward for Eastside. Nothing doing.
Look at Harrison contesting on defense.
Back comes Hill. Floater is good. First points of the contest.
Well, we knew we were going to finish up scoreless. Someone's going to go on the board, and Hill's going to be the one to do it, carrying over her effort she had just a week ago in the state semifinals.
Dameron with the basketball. She's going to throw it away again. Was looking for Kaylee Rasnick, but it falls to no one. Another turnover for the Spartans early on. We're almost 3 minutes in, 2-0 our score.
Coach Terry Ann Funk cannot like that because her team does not turn it over at a high clip, and they've had some wasted possessions here in the early going.
They get the ball inside there to Harrison. Coming out with it is Clay. Nice pump fake up and in.
Use that head fake. Savvy basketball player she really is. You know, the thing that got me is not only did she have the 18 points, 8 rebounds, 5 steals in the state round a year ago for the championship, but she averages almost 3 deflections per game.
Inside to Harrison, one dribble, turns, can't get it. Good rebound, good defense by Lexi Carter. Basketball forward to Clay. Clay takes it in, she's gonna be fouled, and we'll go to the line for our first free throw attempts of the evening.
Well, we talked about it in the open about getting out and running, and Eastside is doing that here. They're trying to play a frenetic style because they know with Harrison being such a force inside, if you wear her down third and fourth quarter, she'll be gasping for air, and they can't play through her to control the flow of the game.
Clay's first shot is true.
Clay coming in at a 75.9% foul shooter on the season.
4.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Eastside with the 4-2 lead. Or I should say Taylor Clay leads Brunswick 4-2. Inside to Harrison, one dribble, takes it up and in.
A little unconventional the way she got it done, but it went through, and they want to go through her as much as possible.
Clay to Dameron, nice take across the middle for two.
Drew Dameron's really stepped up here in the second half of the season, and that's a pleasant sight for Coach Terry Ann Funk and the staff.
Inside Harrison, that ball was tipped. Dameron comes up with it. Throwing it, got it to Clay. Clay with the nice bounce pass for two.
She is equally dynamic, Justin, as a passer as she is a scorer. When you average over 6 assists per game, it just illustrates the way she sets up her teammates to score. She does it in the half court and also in transition, as we just witnessed.
Great assist to Brooklyn Johnson, her first two of the ball game. As you said, this zone defense that the Spartans are employing. There's Harrison on the rebound.
Almost like a pass.
Three-pointer might have been tipped, but it wasn't. Off the mark, though, to Clay. Clay into the corner, pump fake, and steps. Substitution in. It's going to be Ajanai Smith for the Bulldogs.
How about this Brunswick roster with counting 3 sophomores as well as 4 freshmen on it? So the youth has to have the fans very enthusiastic about what's ahead for them. And it helps when you got an administration like they do. The principal, Dr. Ronald Thornhill, used to coach the boys basketball. The athletic director, Harold Williams, got a coaching background too. They really support their athletics at a high level over there.
Hill inside to Harrison, looks outside. Back inside now to Simmons. Doing a good job moving the basketball. Spartans now in a man. Inside to Harrison, can't get it to go. Great job being played defensively by Lexi Carter. Hard take, they're gonna draw the foul. Is Shelby Stanley. Against Smith. Smith tried to go straight up. That's a little bit of body there.
Eastside wants to get to the free throw line, something they know last year, losing this game by 5 points to Rappahannock County. If they can live at the line for portions of the first, second, third, and fourth quarters in the last few minutes, it can add to their lead and give them some breathing room.
Stanley good on the first, extends the lead out to 9-4. A 6-point lead for the Lady Spartans. Hill brings it up across the timeline. Front and back guarding against Harrison, just forcing Brunswick to shoot from outside. Clay with the basketball, brings it up to Stanley again for two.
Eastside is getting behind the defense before they can get set up for Brunswick, and right now Coach Stiff and company have to regroup and make some changes, because otherwise you don't always win a state championship game in the first quarter or first half, but you can fall behind so much that it makes it, you're playing catch up the rest of the night.
Yeah, 12-4 run to start this first quarter. We got just over 2 minutes left. You see Coach Terry Ann Funk there talking to her Eastside Lady Spartans. They're playing quite well early on.
They really are, and it's no stage fright of being in this moment and this setting a year ago, losing to Rappahannock County, who just beat them with balance. We talked about the rebounded 43-27 last year, and it led to an 18-11 advantage and second chance points for the Panthers in that ball game to outlast the Spartans, and I think they learned a lot from that. We've seen on point, obviously, Taylor Clay, but in addition to her, Lexi Carter, like the energy she's playing with and the activity inside to go with those perimeter pieces.
Well, the thing I like is they're doubling down on Harrison, and they're forcing Brunswick to hit from outside. And early on, they haven't been able to do that.
Yeah, they have to prove it. Otherwise, Eastside can stay in this as long as they want.
Long three-pointer. That's going to be off the mark. Rebound by Rasnick, trying to pitch it ahead to Stanley. Tipped away by Hill.
And Brunswick also had to figure some things out defensively because they early on were able to get some turnovers. Now Eastside is starting to get in the groove, and they're trying to find that right lineup that can ignite them on a run.
Go inside to Carter, hands it off to Clay. She'll get it back from Stanley. Taking time to set up an offensive set here. Rasnick has it, back to Carter. Carter, one dribble to Clay. Clay off left side. Trying to get it inside. Shelby. Stanley for two more.
And it's closer in-range shots for them. They're not making Eastside beat them from three-point distance. You know, when Hammond's departed, nobody on this team's making more than a three-pointer a game. Rasnick's their next best shooter, so Brunswick has to counter by forcing them to go there. But there's the force in the middle, Alexandria Harrison for two.
Yeah, she gets a great rebound right over top of the defender. Able to put it right back. It's now 14-6. Rasnick into the corner for Stanley. And she has steps.
Brunswick wants to chip away at this thing, get it down to, you know, a couple of possessions to end the first quarter and even get more pressure on them and make it maybe a one-possession game, if not tied up, have the lead by halftime. They have to solve this zone that they're in, though, sagging off.
Hill taking her time. It's over to Seward, three-pointer, that's off. Stanley with the rebound, trying to run. She's got Clay in front of her. Stanley all the way. Jump step, no good. Clay with the putback for two.
Eastside is doing a really good job of forcing the action here, Justin. I want to see the Brunswick guard start to penetrate into the lane and take some pressure off of Harrison and the shooters from the outside.
Hill takes it in hard, nothing doing there. Stanley with the basketball. She pitches wing for Rasnick. Steps inside, can't go. Rebound Seward, back to Hill. Final 5 seconds of the quarter here. Hill cannot get off a shot, and that's how the first quarter will end. The Lady Spartans of Eastside jump out to a 16-6 lead. We'll take a break and be back with more championship coverage on the NFHS Network right after this.
This presentation of the NFHS Network is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. This presentation of the NFHS Network is high school sports.
It's a 10-point lead for the Lady Spartans of Eastside, coming out of Coburn with a 10-point lead over the Brunswick Bulldogs, who come in with a 23-1 record, Matt. And you said it right as we were at the break there. Brunswick's not getting anything inside, and they're being forced to try to shoot from outside.
Well, and this is not the way that's their typical offense. And coming in 53-plus points per game, they're having no second and third scoring threats because Harrison is just really being contained to this point, having to get garbage points off putbacks and things of that nature. And Eastside is starting to really get its sea legs under them here in the last portion of the first half.
Nice block from Harrison there against Stanley.
Standing still and able to knock that away. She really takes two covers to deal with her because single up, she can do the damage, and they're bringing that second help defender on her. on the opposite side of the floor where the ball is.
Seward with the basketball, kicks it around. That's going to be no good on that attempt by Simmons. And the Lady Spartans are going to throw it away.
Right now, Eastside has to make sure that they don't throw the ball away time and time again to allow Brunswick to chip into this, because you had full grasp of this game. Believe it or not, in the first quarter stats here we got here, Justin, 11 more shot attempts for Brunswick. That's because of 7 Eastside turnovers in the half. Now make it 8 with that one a moment ago.
Hill hits a 3.
After the 0 for 9 start from long distance, Brunswick finally gets one to go down. Maybe this can swing the tide for them.
Inside to Clay, swings it to Stanley. Back around to Rastic. Trying to get inside to Dameron, they do. One extra pass to Clay.
What ball movement right there by the Spartans to patiently move it from side to side and not force up an ill-advised contested shot. Clean look inside.
Great ball movement there from Eastside for the two-pointer. Nobody covering the outside shooter. Simmons is going to fire off the rim and no. Stanley with the basketball. Cross midcourt. She gets it to Clay. Clay to Rasnick, 3 ball, no good, but Clay there to pick it up and off the glass for 2.
Taylor Clay's instincts have been all over this first half. Both ends of the court, getting the offensive rebound, setting her teammates up, looking to score, and then defensively she's communicating as she's helping out with the double team on Harrison.
Akira Hill inside. Harrison now underneath. Shot won't go. That was Ajanai Smith. Couldn't get it to go. Stanley off the glass and good.
Use the glass. It's your friend, youngsters out there. And Eastside's throwing all kinds of different defenses at this Brunswick offense right now. Double teams, boxing 1, 1-3-1, 1-1-3. They're standing right now with the 2 defenders, one on each hip of Harrison, denying her.
Smith with the 3 ball. They left her open long enough. She finally just pulled the trigger and nothing but the bottom of the net. Stanley, nice little pump fake around to Rasnick. Inside to Johnson. They'll settle it down and come back to Shelby Stanley, standing at the U in VCU. Rasnick will get a 3 ball. That's going to be off. Rebound Simmons, but Clay gets it. Stays with the Spartans. Happy to slow it down. They find Clay in the middle. Tries to throw it off a defender. No kick. Johnson can't get it to go. Tapped out and rebounded by Hill for the Bulldogs.
Looks like Brunswick's trying to pick up the pace here, even with Harrison having drawn 2 defenders almost every time down the court now. Brunswick makes a couple more threes. It'll loosen up that defense.
Hill again for 3!
The 3rd triple of the quarter for the Bulldogs, and now Eastside's got to make a switch defensively, and Coach Terry Ann Funk recognizes it. She knows she can't stand this defense anymore. They've got to make a switch.
And that's the thing. You force the Bulldogs to take a couple of outside shots, and Ajanai Smith hits them. You got a quick 30-second timeout, and it's down to a 7-point lead for the Lady Spartans. But that's the thing. We talked about it. You've got to hit your outside shots to force them off that double team of Harrison. Now you're going to try to stretch that east side defense.
That's the beautiful thing about this game called basketball, the little chess match, the game inside the game right now, as you see Coach Terry Stith trying to inspire his young ladies. Hey, we were down double figures. It wasn't looking good at 16-6, but here we are, 22-15. We're clawing back in this thing, and it starts at the defensive end of the court. You've noticed the last few times Eastside's been a little more unsure of themselves, and that's led to better looks for the Bulldogs on offense.
And I don't know why it took Smith so long to start shooting, because she's due for her last 2. It's like, hey, if you're not going to cover me, I might as well shoot it.
You know what? She's got the green light right now, and at this point of the year, what more can you ask for as a competitor to have that?
Dameron goes inside to Carter. Foul, and Carter's going to go to the line.
I
think Brunswick against Brianna Simmons.
I think Brunswick gained a lot of confidence, Justin, by winning that game against Essex. It was coming off the 20-point loss, their only of the season, to Buffalo Gap, and that in a lot of ways was the springboard to getting here, because they avenged that loss to Buffalo Gap, and in some ways it's a microcosm of this first half. They're down but not out. Now, the question is going to be, can they keep Eastside off the foul line, don't give them the freebies, and also keep them from getting out with their running game because they've had some fast break points.
Lexi Carter misses the second. She goes 1 for 2. 23-15 our scores. We cross 4 minutes to go in the first half.
More of a single man-to-man look now on Harrison.
Shelby Stanley playing great defense against Lakira Hill. And backside goes Smith. Can't finish though.
What a cut.
Stanley looking to keep the fast break alive. She'll pitch it back to Clay. Inside, cannot finish by Carter.
Two good finds at each end of the court. They just could not convert, so now it's starting to come more of a defensive matchup.
Hill all the way. Scoop cannot make it. Foul and one. Count it for Harrison.
And that's what we talked about, Justin. When you can have a guard get all the way to the basket, it makes those defenders drift away from Harrison, and she can go work the offensive glass. So you see she just goes over top of Carter inside, and now it's an and one, an old-fashioned three-point play.
First free throw attempt for the Bulldogs goes awry. Lady Spartans are 5 for 6 in this half. Clay back to Dameron from 15, off the rim and no. Harrison with the rebound. Hill brings it across. Stanley picks her up top of the key. Harrison swings it around. 3-ball Seward, no good.
Wasn't quite set on that one.
Dameron to Clay. Clay down the near side. Back to Dameron. Over to Carter. Called for the travel. Stanley, excuse me.
They've got to find a way to get Lexi Carter and Kaylee Rasnick going offensively. In that first quarter, 12 of the 16 points were by Clay and Shelby Stanley. Those two are too important to what they do to be held in check this long.
The Bulldogs winning this quarter, having been down 10 at the start of the second quarter, down 7. Looking to cut into it, Hill. Thought about it from the wing. Picks up a great pick. Inside to Harrison, won't go. Fouls on Lexi Carter.
You know, it doesn't look like she's moving a whole lot inside, but she is. She did a good job of getting to the opposite low block area and just to angle herself where she can catch that post feed and then turn on Carter to now where Carter's helpless and needs help over top from B.J. Johnson to prevent her from having an easy slip to the basket.
First free throw, no good. Lexi Carter sits down. Second free throw is good. Quickly across comes Clay. Stanley, too hard. That'll go off of the Spartans. It was Rastic who touched it. It'll go to the Bulldogs. 23-18 as we approach 2 minutes left in the first half.
It's like Eastside's trying to go to a 2-3 zone now, look, to see if they can deny Harrison inside when they catch with a double team. That didn't work. It worked for Brunswick, though.
9 points for Alexandria Harrison.
Again, her low of the playoffs since regionals was 20 in the state semis versus Buffalo Gap, and that was a 49-48 nail-biter.
Three-pointer Clay, no good. Rebound Harrison. Stolen away. Up and can't make it by Johnson. Here comes Hill. And they're going to call that with the carry.
Tell you what, Harrison right now is winded. She's having a hard time getting up and down the floor. You know, if your coach did there, you might want to buy some time to give her a breather before halftime, get her back in for maybe the final possession, because you don't want to have it where it affects you 5-on-4 in a transition situation.
Clay gets it. Inside corner, Dameron. No, nothing doing there. Rebound Harrison. Gets it up to Hill, and here comes Harrison.
Brunswick wants to run, but she's not able to get on the court at this point. They have to slow things up to a degree, even though that sets up the east side zone.
Three-pointer, nothing. That was missed everything from Hill there. Just over a minute left. Down to a 3-point ball game.
Eastside has worked too hard to go to halftime with just a one-possession lead. They want to expand this here to give them a little more of a shot in the arm by intermission.
Man-to-man defense by the Bulldogs. Stanley picks up her dribble. She finds Dameron in the middle, who finds Rasnick. Back to Stanley inside. Good from Dameron.
Drew Dameron has picked up the slack when they've been unable to get Carter and Rasnick going. That duo combining for 19 points per game coming in. She's been that complementary piece to go with Stanley and Clay.
Three-pointer, Smith, no good. Harrison fighting Clay for the rebound. Comes back out for the Bulldogs, three-pointer! Cortez Toledo.
Holy Toledo.
Dameron with the answer. She's got 6.
A quick flurry of jumpers, now can Brunswick beat the horn?
Final seconds inside. Harrison will not get it off. Will not get it off, and the Lady Spartans of Eastside will carry a 4-point lead, a 5-point lead, 27-22 into the halftime break against the Brunswick
Video player to get your
here.
They had 8 fast break points in the first period, but they have no points off of turnovers, so they've got to turn this Brunswick team over and capitalize. Finish, but she's got
Shelby Stanley and Taylor Clay, both with 8 for the Lady Spartans, to put them in the driver's seat in this one, up by 4 as they come out here and get set for the second half. But it was really Alexandria Harrison. You said it. She was laboring down the last couple minutes there of the second quarter. So probably beneficial for them for the halftime break, the way she played that second.
6 rebounds, 4 assists, and she's only missed 1 shot from the field, which was a 3-point. So Taylor Clay does a whole lot to make them go, and Brunswick has the ball to be in this third quarter.
They will. It'll be Lakira Hill taking it across the timeline against that 2-3 zone of the Lady Spartans. Down inside to Harrison, knocked away, but she gets her own rebound. Back up with it, won't go. Harrison again, fighting with Lexi Carter. It'll be a jump ball, and it will go to the Lady Spartans.
That is working hard in the paint right there. She didn't get the finish, but she's got multiple white shirts draped over her, and fans screaming for a foul call. They know she's getting bumped just about every time she touches it, but that's the design of Eastside's defense. They want to make sure she feels it each time she catches it.
Coming up, a little pressure here from the Brunswick Bulldogs. They get it to Clay. She makes the extra pass inside to Carter, but it's going to be tipped away by Simmons.
Have to find a way to get something outside the painted area. They've been living inside.
Clay gets it back to Dameron. She tries to go inside. Harrison with the block on the pass attempt. Clay with a no-look to Dameron. She's going to kick over to the corner. Now they're inside to Johnson. Back around to Clay. Pump fake inside to Carter. Can't make it. Fighting for it is Johnson against Harrison. Still Spartan basketball. Clay from 15 off the glass, won't go. Rebound Smith.
Justin, Eastside's gone cold the way Brunswick did towards the end of that first quarter. They just can't buy a shot at this point.
I was going to say, that was a great defensive effort by Brunswick, not giving up on that one, as Eastside had 3-4 looks on that trip down the court. Over to Seward. Back to Hill. Smith looking inside to Harrison. Backs in, turns, nothing doing. Rebound comes out with Rasnick. She's going to get trapped, and it'll be a turnover for the Bulldogs.
A couple of Eastside players slow to get up here.
Hill, three-pointer, good!
Bulldogs starting to catch fire from deep. Hard to believe this team started out 0 for 9 from long distance, but now they have so much confidence shooting it from the outside.
Thrown away by Damron.
Coach Terry Ann Funk is arguing that it was tipped, and the official nearest to her is disputing that with her.
5 made threes now for the Bulldogs. Smith has it on the wing around to Hill. She thought about it. Now she's going to go from deep off the front rim. Simmons, though, with the rebound, put back too hard. Rebound Carter. Rasnick wants to run. Into the middle, looks ahead. Johnson can't get it to go. Good job getting a hand on the basketball by Smith there. Eastside clings to a 1-point lead. Smith, no look inside to Harrison. Clay tries to rip it away. And we're going to have a timeout by Coach Stith. It'll be a 30-second variety, and we'll keep it right here. Matt, just over 5 minutes left in this third quarter, so about 3 minutes in, and Brunswick's on a 4-0 run.
Eastside has not been able to score here. They've gone in a rut offensively, and Taylor Clay, who was really getting them off offensively in that first quarter as far as initiating the offense and attacking, she's been kept in check. Give this Brunswick defense a lot of credit because they've been able to keep her out of the lane and from really dominating the flow of the game. Right now, Brunswick is making it work side to side, and they like how things have turned for them after that 10-point deficit in the first period.
And you talked about it. They had the 10-point deficit. You said, look, they just got to chip away at it. Well, they knocked 6 of those points off before we got to halftime, and they've already knocked another 3 off here and now have it to a 1-point game. And if this game's going to be a one single possession, 1 or 2 possessions down the stretch, you're going to have to see some players start to make some shots, really from both sides, because we got a lot of up and down right now, but not a lot of makes.
Well, and we'll keep an eye on that foul situation because right now, first half, only player that had 2 fouls was Lexi Carter for Eastside. Brunswick stayed out of foul trouble, relatively speaking, so they have to like that they should be fresh there. I still think at some point in this second half, if they can steal a possession or 2 without Harrison on the floor, maybe get the lead and sub her out for a second, that'll let her have enough in the tank to finish this one off.
Eastside stays in the 2-3 zone. They're still front and back on the post against Harrison. 3 ball, bottom of the net. Cortez Toledo, her second of the game. Trying to set up the trap. Simmons missed the pass. Damron up, tipped away by Harrison. Foul underneath as Johnson took it up hard for the Spartans.
Well, one of the things we touched on, if you remember in our open, was the crashing the glass and getting those second chance points for Eastside, and they're going to need to get second opportunities. You can't be one and done against this Brunswick team the way they're shooting the basketball, because you trail it 29-27, they'll trade you 3 for 2 right now the way they're going.
Johnson's first free throw is off. Second free throw, that misses as well. Damron tried to come up with the rebound. Nothing doing. 29-27, Brunswick with the lead now.
You wonder if Eastside's done too much changing up of its defense instead of saying something for a long period of time here.
Carter against Harrison, who finds Simmons. And we got a jump ball. It'll stay with the Lady Bulldogs. They haven't been rattled, Matt. They were down 10, never got rattled. They just continue to play their game, now up 2. Into the corner, Hill thought about it. Now she'll fire in, high arcing shot, no good. Stanley with it, up ahead to Clay, can't pull it in. Another turnover for the Lady Spartans.
And it's uncharacteristic of this Eastside team right now. They've gone almost half this quarter without a field goal, and they had 2 chances at the free throw line. They got to get to the free throw line with their main players like Rasnick and Clay, both of whom are over 75% on the season.
Hill's thinking about it. She'll go over to Cortez Toledo. Hill's going to let this one go. Nice shot. Shakira Hill, her second three of the second half. And we got to travel against the Lady Spartans, and the Bulldog faithful are on their feet.
I think the one official's going to change this and turn it into a timeout, because the one on the near side us, like you said, Justin, called a travel. But I think the far side said the timeout came before the travel.
Gotcha. It'll be a full timeout. You know what? We'll go ahead and take it with them. Oh, we'll go back halfway through this quarter. Take a look at what some of the things we've seen here.
Hill shooting right here. I'll tell you what, she has been on
She
fire.
has come out. Yep.
And Toledo's been cooking too, Justin. I mean, she's been really delivering some bombs for them.
3 made threes between those two young women in this third quarter, and that is what has the Bulldogs up now 32-27. It's a 9-0 run to start the third quarter. It's been all Brunswick.
And, you know, the way they started out this game, Eastside was saying, all right, you shoot it, we're comfortable with it. But Brunswick has flipped the switch here. They're getting behind this crowd, which is amped up. They are energized, and they want to bring home a state championship for the first time in girls basketball history, to go with all the hardware and trophies they won during the Bryant Stith, BJ Stith, Brandon Stith era they had several years back before, of course, Bryant Stith went on to coach college ball at Old Dominion as an assistant, had a chance to coach his two sons, BJ and Brandon. Now he's coaching at UNC Greensboro. And I'm sure quite proud of his alma mater and what Terry Stith and these young ladies are doing.
Shelby Stanley with the basketball, top of the key. She looks for Clay, who now directs the offense. Halfway through the quarter, Lady Spartans still looking for a basket. Inside to Damron. She goes to Johnson underneath. Cannot finish.
All momentum with Brunswick right now. If they can put this up 7-8 points, it's going to really make Eastside play anxious and start to press a bit.
Harrison inside, won't go. Rebound, Carter.
Uh-oh.
Her and Harrison got tangled up. Harrison went down hard. Clay for the finish.
And that's where that 5-on-4 is an advantage here. But with her waiting back there, Brunswick wants to slow it down a pinch and see if they can get her reestablished in the low post.
3-point lead for the Bulldogs. Simmons is going to fire, and that is no good. Carter gives to Clay all the way up ahead to Damron. That's going to be knocked out of bounds. It will stay with the Lady Spartans.
What a quick change of events. All of a sudden, just like that, you have a chance to go up 8, 9, 10 if you're Brunswick with that lead. And now Eastside gets a score, a stop, and they can tie the ball game if they knock down their first triple of the evening.
Johnson swings it around to Stanley, who goes to Damron. Out to Stanley. No thought of a potential three-point attempt. Little matchup zone here. Damron from 13. She has hit just about all of those from right there.
Well, and you understand why this Eastside team, outside of Rasnick at 34.5%, ever since Hammonds left, they have nobody else above the 30% mark that's a main player. But their defense is starting to trigger the offense.
Clay gets a steal. Trying to run, and Hill's going to come across.
You know, hindsight's always 20/20, so I don't want to come off as the guy that's getting on Coach Stith here. But with that 7-point lead, when Harrison went to the floor, you wonder if you could have maybe subbed her out for a possession or two, because now that lead you had could evaporate if Eastside scores here.
1-point game, 2 minutes to 22 seconds. Quick sub here for Coach Funk.
And the main reason I brought up subbing her out for just a quick minute or two is to have more in the tank for that fourth quarter. You need her on the floor all 8 minutes of the fourth.
Rasnick, 3-ball, won't go. Rebound inside by Stanley. She gets it to Clay, back to Stanley, who thought about it. She'll skip it around to Carter. Clay, Damron, can't hit. It's right there in that sweet spot for Drew Damron.
But they're getting more quality looks similar to what they saw in the first quarter. So they've gotten back on track offensively now after not scoring for about half of this third quarter.
Inside, Harrison muscling her way toward the hoop, and she'll score.
Love that. She caught it, reposted, demanded the basketball, got it back, and finished it. That's how you get it done.
She's got 11. That ball's going to go out of bounds. It will stay with the Lady Spartans.
They know who to feed inside. That is their main source of offense. And then when they bring that second defender over, it's going to open up the door for Toledo or possibly Smith, maybe even Hill, to strike from the outside.
Rasnick 3 from the corner, too strong. Stanley with the rebound. Over to Clay. Skip pass. Rasnick thought about it again. And it's going to get thrown out of bounds. Turnover again for the Lady Spartans.
A lot of turnovers here, and some of it's been overpassing, over-dribbling, just too much movement as opposed to being decisive in your attacks. And now we see Brunswick go to the bench here as they take off the floor Seward. We'll see what this lineup can bring. Maybe a second inside source here with Brianna Simmons to go with Harrison down low.
And then you have Johnson who subbed in for Stanley, so trying to maybe match, bringing in the size with Simmons, the height of Simmons to help inside. Smith with the basketball being guarded by Rasnick. Now they get to Harrison and fight for it. Simmons comes up with it, and I think they're going to get Dameron here. They are.
That was a golden opportunity for Eastside. You had Harrison put the ball on the floor. You could come in there and swipe it and maybe get on the run.
We're approaching a minute left in our third quarter. 34-31, Brunswick with the lead. Into the corner, off of Hill, and out of bounds. Turnover back to the Lady Spartans.
You know, Eastside had no points off of turnovers in that first half. They've got to take advantage of these chances here as this third quarter winds down.
Just 4 points in the quarter for the Lady Spartans, and there's a foul. See if it's on Hill or Simmons. It will be on Simmons. But just 4 points for Eastside in this quarter. Outside to Dameron. She puts it on the hardwood, but can't come up with it.
Getting some really good looks inside. They're just not going down for him.
Hill walks it across. We go under 40 seconds. Inside Harrison. Good look. Great job by Carter on the block. Clay being guarded by Hill.
Bringing the max effort here in the state championship.
Carter takes it strong. Can't come up with it. Johnson rips it out of Harrison's hand. Clay thought about it. Dameron's going to turn from 17. Corner, Rasnick, 3!
That snaps a three-point drought for Eastside, and we're deadlocked.
Final 5 seconds. They got to get a shot off here. They're not going to do it. Stolen away by the Spartans, and that will do for the third quarter. As you said it, Matt, we are knotted at 34 apiece. We got 8 minutes, maybe more, to decide a state championship. Girls Class 1 championship right here on the NFHS Network.
Come on.
Class 1 championship. Clay goes inside to Johnson for 2.
You know, about the 2-3 minute mark of that third quarter, Justice, when Eastside got back to its identity, its form on offense, they're able to move the ball, not hesitate, and that three-point shot by Rasnick is so big because they were ice cold from deep.
Harrison inside, gets the hoop in the arm.
Wow. Back and forth we go. It's like two prize fighters in the middle of the ring trading punches.
Harrison with 9 points in the first half, 5 here in the second, and none bigger than those two right there. A chance to put the Lady Bulldogs on top by 1. Free throw, no good. Bounces away. It will stay with the Spartans.
Eastside has to push the pace here. This is to their advantage.
13 points for Harrison. Foul everywhere. That was a hard take by Clay. Caught up Johnson, multiple Brunswick defenders. Watch this collision here. I mean, there are bodies everywhere, and I think they're going to call the foul on Harrison.
It's almost like going on the racetrack, right? You just run in, boom.
Yeah. Inside Carter.
That's a mismatch inside with her height. Look for her on those inbound plays. Those side out of bounds and inbound plays can be the determining factors in a championship matchup.
Lexi Carter with 3. Again, trying to defend against Harrison.
Oh,
3! Cortez Toledo, her third 3 of the game.
is she stepping up on the big stage or what? Off the bench.
Clay inside Dameron, around to Rasnick. She's gonna fire, she's gonna hit!
How much did her confidence go with that third quarter ending triple? Back and forth we go.
2-point lead for the Lady Spartans. Stolen away by Johnson, gives it to Clay, ahead to Dameron, who's gonna get called for steps. She couldn't get the ball down in time.
If she just sees out of the left portion of her eye, Rasnick sprinting with her, she makes a bounce pass to her up ahead. She'll lay it up off the window for 2, and you go up 4. Right now, the way we go seesaw back and forth, this is starting to smell like maybe extra fun.
Cortez Toledo out of the corner, inside to Harrison. Nice hard pass, Harrison.
Oh.
That ball, how did that thing come out, Matt? It bounced on the inside of all the rim.
I tell you what, it looked like me when I'm playing pinball. I'm trying to beat my little nephew, and I lose.
Clay out to Dameron. Back to Clay to settle it down. We're under 6 minutes left. 2-point contest. Dameron. Nice defense by Harrison. Up with it. Johnson can't make it. Simmons pulls down the board. Rasnick gets her hand in. Clay tries to save it too, and then they're going to get a foul called against Taylor Clay.
Completely fine with that possession from Eastside, though, because they were able to get one extra pass off this. They got inside deep, and they're probing it deeper and deeper into that defense, and now you can maybe get an and one out of that, and I like that they're getting closer in shots. Accuracy is going to eventually, you feel, fire for them. Brunswick, though, what they have to be careful of is not to have live ball turnovers, because right now Eastside's got a little bit of a speed edge.
Again, defense in the block. High passes, Hill is going to let it fly. It's going to come up short. Rasnick catches it underneath the basket, and now we'll run. Harrison makes it back. Clay thought about it. Dameron from 15. She'll kick it back to Clay. Brunswick faithful wanted to travel. Clay takes it in and goes down hard. No whistle, and it'll stay with the Lady Spartans.
Well, I don't get that. A, I'm surprised it wasn't a foul there, and B, how it stayed with her after she lost the ball. So I think both fan bases should be a little upset on that one. But
inside to Carter for 2!
Welcome back, Carter. Lexi Carter going to work on these inbound plays. We saw it a few possessions ago, and here she is again. She's got the size advantage. They don't pick her up. Just facing the basket, nothing but daylight in the hoop, and she's going to deliver.
She's now got 5. Rebound inside by Dameron. Out to Clay. That's going to be a travel.
Now, how Dameron was able to knife her way through there in front of Harrison, I'm not sure how, but Brunswick has to be careful here not to just force feed at will Harrison, because the defense knows what's coming. They have to loosen it up, moving it, be patient, and you might get that three-point look that way.
We're going to have a full timeout here on the court. Just under 5 minutes left in this one. We'll take a break with them. You're watching championship basketball on the NFHS Network. Alongside Matt Hatfield out of the timeout, fourth quarter. Midpoint about to happen. Lady Spartans of Eastside up 43-39, and they force the turnover. Rasnick wants to run to Clay, throws it a little too far, and Clay hard into the barriers over there at the end of the court. This is pipe and drape, but she went in hard as it steps up down there.
Let's hope she's all right. And, you know, at the 4.5 mark of the third, Justin, they had 7 or no points, I should say. Eastside's already got 9 in this quarter. They had 7 the whole third quarter. They have come alive offensively, and now it's making it harder for Harrison to keep up in this frenetic style of game that's developed. They only shot as a team, did the Spartans, 20% in that third period, but Brunswick right now, 13 to 25 rebounds through 24 minutes of play were by Harrison. So who's going to help her out around the cup?
Stanley checks back in. Clay's going to draw the foul against Seward, but I was going to say, Stanley checks in. She had 8 points in the first half. She's been held scoreless here in the second half.
Well, Lexi Carter has gotten on track. She's gotten the touch here. Remember, she didn't have a field goal through 3 quarters, and she stepped up with those 2 out-of-bounds, inbounds plays. And they're looking for her more now. They know they can trust her.
Clay with the basketball, being guarded by Smith. And that'll be a foul against Smith.
And for those unfamiliar with it, Justin, a change in the rules for Virginia High School League basketball this year. 5 fouls means you're at the foul line. 2 shots, not the 1-and-1. In the past, it would be for a half. You go, the 7 shots like the college game, 1-and-1 till you get to 10, the double bonus. It's changed completely. So I think it makes it harder to come back in these late game moments with that rule change.
Stanley with the basketball, tipped away, stolen by Smith. That's touched, bodies all over the floor. Hill comes out with it, can't finish. Carter with the rebound. Oh, Hill with the steal. She runs a circle around her teammate, launches a 3, it comes up short. And it'll be Eastside basketball.
The lid would have come off of this place if she knocked that 3 down. I'll tell you what, though, she got a jolt of lightning and energy. I don't know if she got an energy boost during that timeout, but she all of a sudden got something that got her ignited, and she is really locked in, lasered in here.
That's going to be a travel against Stanley. Trying to settle him down is Taylor Clay. 43-39, 3:38 to go in this one.
Brunswick hit all those 3s in the second and third quarter, 7 total. Now they're starting to show some legs here, tired legs. Those outside shots don't start to fall, so they've got to work it inside out with Harrison and get some high percentage looks.
Harrison runs into Carter, out to Simmons, nothing doing there. Seward with the basketball, over, and it's going to be a turnover. Here goes Clay. All the way to the basket for 2.
Spartans can almost taste it, up 6 here. A couple more defensive stops, and this is their ball game.
Inside to Harrison, out to Seward. 3 ball, nothing doing. Smith comes up with the rebound. Inside, we got a timeout here by Coach Stith. We'll keep it here.
Possession for them, down 6 with 3 minutes to go. You say, well, got to work it inside.
Toledo.
And then down low here, the double team comes, and Toledo says, I'll get it right back at you with a 3 ball.
Yeah, and that's really what Brunswick needs. Has extended this lead out to 6 points with 3 minutes to go. Inside Harrison, outside to Simmons. Back to Harrison, being shrouded by Eastside defenders. Turnover to Clay for 2.
It was the #1 key in our open, get on the run, and Eastside's getting out with these transition buckets, starting to separate.
Cortez Toledo thought about it, spins it around. They go inside to Harrison. 1 dribble up, and she's going to the line to shoot 2. Foul was against Lexi Carter. Nice hard take.
You live with that if you're Eastside, because you're up 8. You didn't give them a 3-point play. Make her earn it at the free throw line.
And she's 1 for 4. Make it 2 for 5. Reverse curse there.
Brunswick, though, that's a dilemma, because if you try to set up a press, Eastside breaks it, it can be an easy layup at the basket. And it's harder to press with 2 big bodies on the floor like Simmons and Harrison, who's shooting the free throw here.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound, Johnson. Hands it off to Clay. Clock turns under 2.5. Clay content to stay back and just let some clock run. Rasnick now with the basketball. Into Dameron. Around to Clay. 30 seconds gone by on the possession.
Burning lots of clock time here.
Clay trying, makes effort in. Great job by finding Johnson on the assist from Clay. That was run to perfection.
What a playmaker she's been. She's got at least 6 or 7 assists in this ballgame.
Simmons to Smith. Inside to Harrison for 2. Timeout. Harrison now with 7 in the second half to give her Spartans out to a 7-point lead. But
Chance to push up to 7, 8 in their legs. They're a little bit winded in time.
quarter. Brunswick won the middle couple quarters and actually took a nice lead. But the Spartans continuing to grit through. Ball gets into the hands of Taylor Clay. She works her way all the way down the court for 2. Won't go. But a rebound out to Raznick for 3. No good. Inside Clay for 2.
And Brunswick's just so winded right now. They're not even able to shield off and box out for a rebound.
Inside Harrison. Hard take for 2.
Muscling her way inside, but they've got to start fouling soon if they don't get a turnover, but there's almost one.
Hill almost came up with it. 7-point lead. 1:08 left in regulation.
I'd say if you don't get a steal here by the 50-second mark, I'd start the foul.
4 fouls, so the next foul will send Eastside to the line.
But you don't want to foul Hora Raznick. You want to get it out of those 2 players' hands. Damn right you can foul. You're wasting a lot of time.
There's the foul against Seward on Damron, and a little under a minute to go in this one. The Spartans will now be shooting 2, and as you said, this is the hard part now because there is no 1-and-1. You just need to hope for misses while the clock is stopped. As Cortez Toledo is set to check in for the Lady Bulldogs.
Damron 67.8% from the foul line on the season, 7.4 points per game. You'd love both, but he'll take at least one. Now, I guess that's not the 5th. Is it the 4th foul they're saying?
No, now it's the 5th. Damron was over on the line, and
okay.
The referee didn't catch it initially. Now we're straight. 52 seconds left here from the Siegel Center on the campus of ECU. First one, no good.
That's why I say, you have only 2 players over that 70% mark in Raznick and Clay on the season, so you'll trade 2 for 1. You just have to play the foul game a lot quicker.
Second one from Damron is good. 53-44. 52-44. Harrison inside for 2.
Time's ticking. You got to make Clay give it up. Now foul again. Damron just missed 1 of 2.
Raznick with the basketball, trying to play defense, but you got to find a way to foul. They're going to force them to come try to foul Raznick. He's going to toss it to Clay. Final 30 seconds. A lot of time off the clock here.
Wasting way too much time for Brunswick.
There's the foul against Cortez Toledo.
All the Spartans basically need to do at this point here, Justin, is to get one of these 2 foul shots to go down, because then it stretches it to a 3-possession game, and you feel pretty safe if you're Eastside at that point.
First one misses. 52-46. And if you're Brunswick, you need a 3.
See, if you commit that foul at the 35-second mark, you extend the game out to at least 2 more possessions.
Second free throw good. 2 for 4. The last 2 trips from Damron. Hill brings it up. Inside to Harrison. Foul and 1!
There's how you get a 3-point play. Throw it inside to the bruiser in the paint. It is Harrison. Alexandria Harrison, the Region 1B Player of the Year, who has been so dominant all season long.
Watch this inside. Carter gets just enough of the arm. As you said, Harrison's going to go to the line for the 3-point play here. Chance to cut it to 4. And it will bounce around. It'll be Lady Spartan basketball. Clay. Harrison fouls her, and Clay will go to the line. Harrison, though, Matt, a fantastic second half. She had 9 in the first half. I've got her with 11. 13 in the second half.
Well, you know what? That means every playoff game she will have had at least 20-plus points, and that's quite a feat. Any level you're talking.
Clay's free throw, no good.
You know, the free throws have been a little bit hit or miss for Eastside, but these folks that came from a Coburn, they are ready to celebrate.
Clay with 16 points on the night. Make it 17 as she goes 1 for 2. Final 12 seconds. They're going to try to roll the basketball up. Hill's going to bring it across. Hill throws it Harrison inside for 2. And with just under 10 seconds to go, it's a 4.
Or they get a basket.
This is one of those situations where, and as quickly as she got it, Smith fouled her. It's the only thing the Lady Bulldogs could do. Clock stopped with.
That's who you want on the line, though, if you're Coach Terry Ann Funk, because on the season, Taylor Clay from the free throw line, pretty dependable, 75.9%.
Just went 1 for 2 on the last trip. First one, no good. And here's the thing, if you're Eastside, you do not want to foul.
Definitely
just
not on
play
three.
solid defense. Free throw here really makes it hard, and that one will go. 2 for 4. Hill tries to roll it up. Clay, great job playing defense. Final 5 seconds. Hill trying to go inside to Harrison. Knocked away. Smith with the 3 at the buzzer. That is going to do it. The Eastside Lady Spartans are the 2024 Class 1 state champions.